My name is Marc Blatstein, and in 2006, I too was indicted and convicted of a felony. To call this a life-altering event at best is an understatement. You two are undergoing the same thing, and I hope you find this helpful. With work, I was able to get my license reinstated in full in 2010, and I have a takeaway or my lesson from this is prison is temporary. And so eventually you're going to go home. And do you have a plan for this? I didn't. And so my goal in this series is to provide you with the information you'll need to survive and navigate these times, because knowledge together with preparation is going to help you build back your confidence that you'll need throughout this process. You probably already heard that the Department of Justice and FBI have been asking questions. Maybe they've come to your home or sent you a letter. At this point, their case against you is mostly complete, and they have a conviction rate approaching 98%. Delaying to take the next step, though, is at your peril. And what is that? You need to find an attorney who practices federal criminal defense in federal court. But hiring this legal team or attorney doesn't just depend on their experience. You should also learn if they have a proven track record of successfully defending cases like yours. It's a big deal. And you need to be comfortable with them so that you don't hold anything back, because anything that you do not tell your attorney, and should they find that out in the courtroom, is only going to hurt you. It may embarrass them, but it will hurt you. And so you need to have that comfort in the legal team, and needs to be a good fit, because the choices that you're going to make today are going to influence your tomorrow. Should you have any questions, please do not hesitate to call and consider engaging my services at 240-888-7778. This is your life and your future. I've come through it, and I'm hoping to make your path simpler. Another reason for your narrative. Before supervised release, your probation officer will have inspected your future home and reviewed your Bureau of Prison file. And this file includes your pre-sentence report. So if you've done nothing and depended on like the will of the Lord, all they're going to read in your pre-sentence report is your indictment, which is not likely flattering. But if you've taken the time to write a personal, well-written narrative that was what both weaved into your pre-sentence report as well as being attached to it, this is now called under seal, which means that if this file is going to follow you, and your probation officer, after reading it, may have a slightly better view of who you are. But remember that these are individuals too, and they carry a large caseload, and you're one of many. So you want to make it easy for them to judge who you are. That's by doing everything correct and not getting in trouble. For many individuals, it can last several years under the supervision of a different probation officer, meaning that you have a probation officer that writes you as your pre-sentence interview and writes the official pre-sentence report. You have a probation officer that sees you or watches over you during pretrial services before, and this probation officer is going to supervise you well on supervised release. This is just another reason to know who your stakeholders are and how they view you and their expectations. And you're not going to be able to know all your stakeholders. Chances are you're not going to know your stakeholders before you go into prison, because you're not going to know anybody in prison, any of the officers there. And you're also never going to meet the security departments at the Grand Prairie, Texas, which is where they actually designate you. All they have to learn about you is what they read on their pre-sentence report. And if it doesn't include your narrative, then they don't have a great impression. If you've already reached this point and don't have the time to wait for future videos, please give me a call. We can discuss your situation one-on-one. So once again, my number is 240-888-777-8. Probation officers play an important role in your transition back into society during supervised release. They're going to evaluate and approve where you live and where you work, with the goal of providing the necessary support and resources to ensure a successful reentry back into society. If you've owned your own business that was not involved in your charge and still want to be self-employed, you can be, if your job, as I just said, wasn't involved in your charge. But it's important for you to have all of this prepared for your pre-sentence interview. You want to get character letters from your sibling or your wife or husband, saying how that it's difficult for them to function without you. The kids miss you, and they will provide. You'll have provided for you, a car, health insurance, etc. And that's big. But also, if it's your business, you can have a letter from who's ever running the business, provide the character reference letter for you in saying that you are going to be they're offering you the job here. It will be, it's some sort of higher minimum wage. You'll be answering the phones, but you'll be on site all the time while you're there. And so that probation officers, halfway house officers anyone can stop by as needed, unexpected, to go ahead and, see if you were there and speak with the people that are over you, your managers, even though you own it. Long term, you want to stay out of trouble. You may get drug tested regularly. Definite, no firearms. And financial forms must be completed monthly. And don't fake this stuff because they're going to keep a record of it. And I mean, what I did was I faxed it in. I understand now it can be done online. Every month, you need to do it. To engage my services or have your concerns answered, call me today at 240-888-7778. This is my personal cell phone, and I answer and return all calls. If I don't pick up, please leave a brief message. All this information you can also get for free on my website at pprsus.com. P as in Paul, P as in Paul, R as in Robert, S as in Sam, US.com, otherwise known as Physician Pre-Sentence Report Service. Thank you for tuning in today, and I hope you found this helpful. Have a good day.